Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Responsible Sustainable Reefing. Today we're going to talk quarantine tanks. The reason we want to talk quarantine tanks is because it is yet another step in maintaining a sustainable reef for a couple reasons. The first one is you're able to treat any illnesses or parasites before they get infested into your main displays and possibly infecting your other fish. It also allows you to monitor the health of the fish, make sure that it's eating well. I use the opportunity as well to train the fish to eat the food that I like to feed. That way, by the time they get into my main display, they're not struggling to eat. They're nice and strong, and healthy. Again, you're able to treat different kinds of illnesses and parasites before they get into your system. I do a 5-week quarantine cycle. 4 weeks of copper treatment, which is arguably the average for a copper treatment, and I do another week with Prazipro. I do copper to treat the most common illnesses, specifically ick and other parasites such as that, and then I do Prazipro to treat any of the internal illnesses that copper doesn't treat, such as worms and funguses such as that. This gives me a pretty much good as I can do, short of extending it to a full 2-month cycle. Now, ick has about a 3-week life cycle, where it goes through its eggs all the way to full blown ick. So 4 weeks is a good, you're about 90% of what you can do. Again, short of extending it to 2 months, which I've actually considered, 30 days is usually sufficient. And then again, a week extra to treat the other parasites that copper cannot treat. Now, I've been asked, and I've talked to other people about whether quarantining actually stresses the fish more than if you just go ahead and put them in the main display and allow them to acclimate there one time instead of moving them around several times. And my answer is no, I don't believe so. Mostly because a fish that is sick is going to be stressed no matter what. It's not going to be just like, when you get sick, you don't feel good and you're going to be stressed out. You're not going to be able to be really happy. So being able to treat these illnesses so that they don't have a chance of coming back in the long run is far less stress on the animal. Not only that, is a lot less stress on your other fish in the system because you're not introducing any new parasites or illnesses or anything that to your system, therefore risking them getting sick in the process and then stressing them out. So no, I don't believe it's more stress. I believe you're bringing in a possibility of even higher stress on all your animals by not quarantining. So what do you need to quarantine? Basically, it's just a basic tank. Now, again, this is my quarantine system. It's on a 36-gallon bow front. The reason being mine's a little on the larger side is because I have a larger tank. So I have some larger fish. As you can see, I have an Achilles tang and a Fiji bicolor foxface. So for those guys, they need a little bit more swimming room. Now, I would not put them in this tank permanently, but this is a temporary stop for them, so it's good enough for temporary. Obviously, these fish need at least a 6-foot system, 150 plus gallons, they're going into a 180, so they'll be fine in there. Yeah, this is a good enough size for the time being, since it's only temporary for 30 days, and then another week. So, to run a quarantine, just like any basic tank, you're going to want a way to filter water. As you can see, I run a canister filter. Mine is rated for 180 gallons. Like I said, this is only a 36-gallon system, so I over-filter. But again, that's also to maintain a good water quality while they're in there. And again, to ensure that they stay nice and healthy. Alright guys, so on top of the filtration, you're also going to need some way of circulating the water. So as you can see, I have some Sea-Chi wave makers in there that help provide the circulation throughout the tank. I also use a basic heater. This is a Eheim heater, like most people have in their sumps. And then I do have a light source. You don't need a light source because there's no coral or anything like that. It's fish. I like to provide one just so they can get kind of used to keeping that day and night cycle along with my main displays. Now for the filtration, like I said, I over filter, so that's why I like the canister filter. I'm able to put multiple layers of filtration through there. You can use a hang on the back filter. If I was only doing these, clownfish, a 10-gallon quarantine system is more than adequate, and you can use a hang on the back filter there. I have a bigger quarantine again because I have a bigger display, so I have some bigger fish. You want to have something to hide, allow the fish to hide behind, how they would in your main display or in the wild. They'll have rocks and caves and stuff to hide on. It gives them a little bit more, they feel a little better, especially when they're new and they want to hide because they're a little scared. So I like to provide some of this fake, artificial stuff you buy at any of your, local fish stores, stuff like that. It's just plastic, so that way, you don't have to take care of it, and it's easy to clean. And it provides a good, little bit of shelter for the fish to be able to feel a little secure and safe behind when they're scared. So that's it. Just again, basic filtration, some water circulation, a heater, a light source. I think it's better. You don't have to have it, but I believe it's beneficial to the fish. And again, it allows you to treat fish, get them nice and healthy, get them trained up to your food before they even get in your system. It avoids a lot of problems. Give you one quick last glance of the way it's set up. Again, very simple. It's controlled. This is controlled on a timer, so lights go on and off on a timer. Very simple setup. So again, it doesn't take much. So just to show you underneath the system, again, there's my canister filter. On the left, I have a again very basic power supply, keeping my cords tightened up and wrapped up. That way, there's no cords all over the place, and I keep all my medication down here. I have a wide variety of medication just in case any kind of new parasite, anything that may pop up. That way I'm able to treat it without having to run out and try to find something that would work. So again, just basic filtration to keep the tank running while you treat it. Now again, guys, if you're unable to set up a quarantine, let's say for space, money, anything like that, find a friend who has one. I know some local fish stores even offer it, to QT some fish for you for an extra little bit amount of money. It's well worth it. It definitely, not only for the fish you're getting, but also for your display. Even if you don't care about the health of the fish that you have and you only care about the cost, think about what it would cost to replace all of the fish in your main system because you wanted to rush and get a fish in there and it turned out to have some kind of parasite and wipes out all your fish. When that starts, it's almost a domino effect that you cannot stop, and you will lose most of your fish. I've seen it happen in small and large systems where people lose thousands of dollars worth of fish because they had to have that one fish in their tank and they just skipped the quarantine. Again, it saves so much time, hassle, and money ultimately in the long run, and it is just a responsible way to keep and sustain a reef tank. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them for me, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.